You guys work with a lot of e-commerce companies, and you know that e-commerce giants often store like hundreds and if not thousands of products. And in order to sell those products, e-commerce companies need to visualize them, right? And if you think about it, it makes sense. Like, put yourself in the shoes of the buyer. If you're going to buy that product, you need to be able to trust that vendor, to trust that retailer. So nowadays we live in the visual economy, and buyers like to research products, and buyers like to make informed purchase decisions. And I don't even have to go further than myself. Like, I research a product like days and weeks before adding it to cart, and we're even talking like basic skincare products here, like let alone like bigger items. And I think that COVID took this to a whole other level, as we were left with no other choice but to buy stuff online. And when I say buy things online, I don't only mean things like groceries or clothing items or like things that are like very low risk and cost like a couple of items, but I mean like bulkier items like furniture and appliances and things like that. And if you told someone pre-COVID that you're going to furnish an entire house just by using a retailer online, they would probably think, you've gone crazy. So the big question here, I think, that retailers have been asking is, how do we help buyers make those informed purchase decisions? How do we empower them with technology so they can research a product well before placing the order?
It's not that product visualization is killing photography, it's complementing and giving another view, no pun intended.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a lot of sneaky ways that product visualization can really help. One is return rate, but I think also the amount of calls you're going to get into the support line, right? Which then opens it up to your team to be able to do, more and different calls than just, hey, what does the back of this look like, right? How does the pattern actually connect in the back? Your team can really focus on the calls that they need to focus on, which also impacts the bottom line, right? So there's a lot of different ways that I think product visualization can really help out without it just being showing, the client and the consumer's user experience.
Hello everybody, what's up? How are you? I'm Diego Praderi and I want to welcome you to another episode of The Link, eCommerce Connections. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of product visualization for an e-commerce business. And there's no better people to talk about this than Johannah Coffey and Dijana Boshkova, Customer Success Team Lead and Customer Marketing Manager at Cylindo. Cylindo is a leading 3D product visualization tool that helps e-commerce merchants to create, manage, and distribute product images, especially for the furniture business. Hello, Johannah. Hello, Diana. How are you? Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good. How are you?
All good, all good. Thank you for joining me in this conversation about product visualization.
Thanks for having us. We're really excited to join you today.
Please, it's an honor. So let's go straight into the topic. So tell me, before we go into the 3D product visualization, I would like for you to tell our audience why product images is so important and so critical for an e-commerce business.
The short answer is obviously, to visualize products. However, I think that there's a bit more to that. You guys work with a lot of e-commerce companies, and you know that e-commerce giants often store like hundreds and if not thousands of products. And in order to sell those products, e-commerce companies need to visualize them, right? And if you think about it, it makes sense. Like, put yourself in the shoes of the buyer. If you're going to buy that product, you need to be able to trust that vendor, to trust that retailer. So nowadays we live in the visual economy, and buyers like to research products, and buyers like to make informed purchase decisions. And I don't even have to go further than myself. Like, I research a product like days and weeks before adding it to cart, and we're even talking like basic skincare products here, like let alone like bigger items. And I think that COVID took this to a whole other level, as we were left with no other choice but to buy stuff online. And when I say buy things online, I don't only mean things like groceries or clothing items or like things that are like very low risk and cost like a couple of items, but I mean like bulkier items like furniture and appliances and things like that. And if you told someone pre-COVID that you're going to furnish an entire house just by using a retailer online, they would probably think, you've gone crazy. So The big question here, I think that retailers have been asking is, how do we help buyers make those informed purchase decisions? How do we empower them with technology so they can research a product well before placing the order? And I think that while traditional photography is super, it's great, it's like, it does not give all the answers that buyers nowadays are looking to get. And that's where product visualization comes into play. And at Cylindo, when we say a 3D product visualization, we don't only mean a static 3D rendering, we actually think of an interactive 3D image that you can like spin around, zoom in and out, customize, which we'll talk more about. So that's where Cylindo comes to play.
If you can't see it, you're probably not going to buy it, right? And so you need to visualize that. It's really hard for the, consumer, typically myself included, to picture how something's going to look if I can't see it, right? So I think really the importance there is getting somebody through the funnel to make the purchase because they can actually see it, they feel comfortable with it. It's the whole reason why we've always been doing photography, but it takes photography to the next level by being able to show every single configuration that anyone would want to purchase from you.
Well, you both mentioned photography, right? I'm a former photography aficionado, so I love photography. But we need to get real and understand, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but taking pictures of furniture and its variants, it's a lengthy process. You need to pre-production, you need to produce, you need to take the pictures, edit the pictures, approve the pictures. Like, I'm guessing that it's a more time-consuming process and as well a more expensive process, correct?
Yeah, and
Yes.
just like you just described the process, and imagine like you're doing that for the summer collection, and here comes October, and just what you did like becomes quickly irrelevant, and you have to do that over again. And when you're done doing that, then those images quickly become like, irrelevant again. And another thing that I think is like really vital, a lot of furniture companies are offering product configurations like customization. That's a really competitive advantage. And sometimes there are like thousands different variations of a product. Like Johannah can tell you more. Like you can literally customize every single bit on a sofa, on a chair, and like things like that. And imagine if you had to manufacture and photograph every single variation that you offer just to show people what you're able to sell them, to give them.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something that I want to touch on in a minute, about the configuration, about the maybe sometimes infinite options that you can use, but also going back to the photography and versus the product visualization or the renders. It's the fact that, like, I just moved houses, right? So I'm in this buying furniture process, and if I go to the store, you don't just look at a furniture like from a distance, right? You if you can sit on a couch, you will sit, but at least you go round the couch, you see every single detail, right? You're gonna spend a lot of money. It's not a t-shirt, like you said, Diana. So that's something that product visualization rendering also provides the customer, right? It's a full 360, or even, I don't know, like more than 360, because you can see it from every single angle, correct?
Yeah, so we do 360 right now, so you can rotate it around fully and see the entire couch or chair or what have you. I personally think that there will always be a place for photography, but I think what Cylindo does is allows the photography and the creative teams to really do what they love, right? Do they want to be taking a silo shot of an image in a white background, right, of the product? Not really. That's not what they enjoy. That's not where they have the fun, right? So Cylindo takes that away, and we can handle that, but then giving them back the creative side, so the caviar shots, styling a whole room and taking a creative picture in that way, and really allows them to do that, taking out the piece that can, sometimes get a little monotonous and a little boring, but giving the end consumer still that ability to see everything that they need to see to make the purchase.
So from what I'm hearing, you're pro to combine, right? It's not that product visualization is killing photography; it's complementing and giving another view. No pun intended. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. like photography is not the villain. We're just offering retailers here a more sustainable way to manage all of the product visuals.
Cool. And tell me, so you talked about product configuration, right? And I've seen many sites using your solution or even other solutions, right? And it makes it really easy to interact with the product. And I would like to understand, like, if you have any feedback from your from your customers' clients, actually, because the engagement that you have with the product, I think, has a lot of value in my experience, in my purchasing experience, right? Do you see that this engages customers and actually helps increase conversions?
Yes, definitely. I think, you know, when you play around with it and you make a product your own, you feel more ownership over that. And so you're more likely to make that purchase, right? You've spent more time on the site creating different configurations. The page views that we see in our clients, they typically go up pretty significantly when they're starting to implement our product, because it's not just somebody coming in, looking at it and moving on, right? They're looking at it, they're creating it to exactly what they want to buy, and then they feel that sense of ownership, and then they're more likely to purchase it because they feel like, this is mine. I built this thing that I really enjoy and that I really want in my house, and so then they're more likely to buy from that.
And tell me, there's a difference between a render, right? So let's imagine a couch. Like, let's go into the furniture vertical. One thing is to see a kind of a computerized couch, right? Very kind of fake. I don't know. It's more close to an NFT maybe. That to see a real couch, but you add photorealism to the product visualization. How does this affect engagement and purchase, and how does this affect the overall experience of customers when they go to a site that is using photorealism in the renders?
I think this makes like a massive difference to customers, because just the ability to zoom in, like we have 4K zoom, that means that what you're looking at is exactly what you're going to get when you place that order. And you don't even have to visit a store to see that material, to see the swatch. And we've heard it actually from multiple clients saying that product returns, they almost never happen because they're not happy with the final look. Like, the material is always spot on. Like, they even lower their return rates, and if a return does happen, then it's most likely because something happened, like during transportation or some other reason, but it's never because of what a material looked like online compared to the real thing. And I personally think that's like a huge win, especially if you're focused only on selling online.
Well, that's huge, because I wouldn't know. I'm just assuming that product like furniture returns are kind of expensive. You don't want to get there, right?
Yeah.
So making sure that customers get what they really want, it's a huge thing. So I don't know if it's clear or it's obvious at the very beginning that product visualization avoids returns or reduces returns. That's huge, because that's you're saving a lot of costs, right? You're affecting the bottom line, definitely.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I think there's a lot of sneaky ways that product visualization can really help. One is return rate, but I think also the amount of calls you're going to get into the support line, right? Which then opens it up to your team to be able to do, you know, more and different calls than just, hey, what does the back of this look like, right? How does the pattern actually connect in the back? Your team can really focus on the calls that they need to focus on, which also impacts the bottom line, right? So there's a lot of different ways that I think product visualization can really help out without it just being showing, you know, the client and the consumer's user experience.
And you mentioned at the beginning, you mentioned a very typical topic right now, that it's the pandemic, you know, COVID, etc. Did the pandemic actually change your ideal customer profile? Did you see a shift or a change in your ideal customer profile? Or did you see it like maybe it's the same people, but they want kind of different things or more features from a solution like yours?
Yeah, I think I don't think it changed the profile of who we work with or the needs. What I think it really did was show to retailers and brands the importance of this, and where some people may have been on the fence of, hey, should I really be doing this? Should I do photography? It really pushed them over that line, because all of a sudden now you can't have people in the offices or doing photo shoots, right? And now how do you visualize the products that you want to sell and the new product launches over that period? Now they can do that with us, right? So I think it wasn't necessarily a change in who we target or who is the best fit for our product, but more of, getting people a little bit more over the line, getting people more comfortable with what this actually means and how it can help their business.
Okay, sounds good. And one thing that I need to ask in regards to everything that has to do with images, right? It's site performance. Like, images tend to affect site performance in a negative way, right? And but I think that you have a different approach of how you manage it, right? If I'm correct, what Cylindo does, and what every important or relevant product visualization tool needs to have is, like, you create, you can manage, and you can distribute the images. And mainly our audience are NetSuite users, right? So whenever it comes to NetSuite users, you're talking about, okay, the file cabinet, how many images, how many files you're uploading in your system. So how do you come around with it? Because I guess, like, one sofa with different variations of couches and material, it's, I don't know, dark wood, light wood, like, there are lots of images. How does that work, and how do you actually manage and save site performance?
Yeah, so site performance for us is a huge thing, right? Because if you have somebody on your site and you have to wait more than a second, 2 seconds, right? You've lost them, they're gone. So we always our 3 pillars are quality, scalability, and speed, right? And speed is definitely one of those. That's very important. So we do that through, it's a very lightweight JavaScript API that you put onto your site that will call ours and call that image up, so that it is pretty immediate, so that the users aren't waiting for that at all. So on our side, that's really how we handle that.
So you can confidently say that site performance is not going to be affected with whatever images, because where those images live? Where are all those images stored?
Yep, we host them on our side, and it's cached so that it's an easy, quick call from us.
Okay, so you serve them on demand, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's part of solving the product visualization problem for companies, because I think there are multiple ways to solve 3D product visualization, and I think companies are aware of this. But eventually what happens is that you end up with, like, hundreds and thousands of 3D assets, and, like, where do you store them? Who's in charge of them? Who's the owner? Where do they live? Like, do you hire a person full time just to take care of your 3D assets? And what Cylindo does is we have the CMS, the Cylindo platform, and everything is on the platform. From there, you can access your files, view them, embed them on your site, download, do whatever you want with them.
Cool. And how's the process? Like, I mean, I have a furniture company. Let's keep in furniture. I don't want to know in a moment, like, other applications of your product. But, like, I have a furniture business. Like, how do you create those renders, right? And actually that look exactly like you said. Like, I'm going to reduce returns. I want to serve exactly what they're looking for. Like, for me, it's kind of mumbo jumbo, right? Kind of magic. So how's the process? Explain me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we have a project manager that our clients work very closely with, and then the customer success team as well. So we go through an initial product data phase, and that phase is really important because that will drive the quality and everything that you get from there. So we require imagery, front, side, and back, that we base off of for our models. And then we go into all the detail about product logic, right? If it's leather versus fabric? Are there different seams on the back of the sofa, right? So we cover all of that in detail. And, one of the key things is because we are so focused in furniture, we've seen it all, right? We know all the questions to ask. I will say, so I came from financial software into furniture industry.
Big change.
And I never, big change. I never realized how many times I was going to speak about the number of wrinkles and the level of detail and the positions of a pillow, right? But now it's second nature, right? And that's really what we do here with the team is like we understand the product so well, and that's what we really focus on in that product data phase to understand that. And then we go into modeling and material creation, which is where the teams do all of the amazing artistry and work on the models, which to me, I've been here for 2.5 years and I'm still blown away by what our teams do and what they produce. It's amazing stuff. And then we'll go through a review process with our clients at the end of that as well.
So I find this amazing. So you literally discuss the amount of wrinkles in a pillow with the client?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So you know how many
wrinkles.
wrinkles it should have to make it look more comfy?
Yep. Is it like pretty
That's
tight
amazing.
or is it wrinkled? Is it casual? We talk about all of that, which
And shadowing, lighting, like everything, right? Like
everything. Yep. So we have lighting setup that we do. We have camera settings. So when you're a new client, you come in and we'll talk about the camera and lighting setup as well, which will really drive some of those shadows because we do environment shadows as well. So that really drives all of that to make it more realistic.
I love it. And I was going through your site, and in one of your projects, you actually put out this concept about transferring the real life brand experience online, right? And this gives me the opportunity to talk about also AR, right? And AR, even before, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, before even maybe engaging with you in some projects that we had together, you would read that the future of e-commerce was AR, the future, what's coming, the new trends, etc. And you've been there for a couple of years already, right?
Yep.
You have a lot of experience. How does AR changes the game?
I think AR will totally transform the furniture e-commerce game. We will keep hearing more and more about AR as years go by. AR, it's like if you want to amaze your customers, if you want to be like, whoa, if you want to elicit that reaction from your customers, AR. And it's not only about delighting them, it's about engaging them. Like Johannah mentioned that they build that emotional connection when they configure their own product. Well, imagine the reaction when you get to bring that product to life, like right in front of your eyes, right in front of your house. And that like eliminates all of the questions like, will this fit? Will this look like will this look nice? Is because we've all bought that furniture carpet or furniture carpet. We've all bought that furniture piece or carpet that we just like shove it in a corner because it doesn't really fit anymore or it didn't even fit to begin with. AR clears all of those dilemmas for customers and it's so engaging. I have to mention this. We had an AR snowman in December. We actually built a snowman in December that we sent out to like clients and prospects as a Christmas card. The response to that has been amazing because imagine the power of like you just press a button and bam, you have like a 6-foot snowman right in front of you. And you can provide that same experience for your customers with products that they configure and customize on their own.
It's kind of a metaverse in a way, right?
Yeah, it's a metaverse. This is the entryway to the metaverse. I think that we're yet to hear about AR and how it will like fit into the metaverse, but keep an eye out. AR space, I think it's only gonna get bigger.
By the way, for anyone that maybe that's listening to this, AR is augmented reality, right? It's literally
augmented.
taking the product out of the screen and visualizing it how it would look, I don't know, in your living room. That's really interesting.
And,
And we actually we did an AR product recently, and it's a bathtub. And what's really cool about it too is you can place it in your house, but then you can walk up to the bathtub and like look into it and look over it, so you can really get that experience. It's definitely, I think it's a game changer for sure.
Yeah, definitely, and we're gonna see more and more coming from there, definitely. And tell me, okay, we talked a lot about furniture, right? But product visualization, AR, it doesn't start and ends in furniture, right? Like, do you have any other customers? You don't need to name the customers, but do you have any other customers that are applying product visualization and rendering and photorealistic 3D rendering to other type of products or experiences?
Yeah, we do. So we have a client, one that I actually work closely with, who does kitchen hoods, bathtubs, like I mentioned before, sinks. And what's really cool is, a kitchen hood has so much that can change on it, right? How are you mounting it? Is it on an island? Is it against a wall, right? That changes what it's going to look like. Do you have pot rails? Do you have straps down the middle? Are they going to be a different metal than another metal that is, the base metal for the whole hood? So that I think is really important because you can change the way it looks so much. And one of these kitchen hoods is really the kitchen is built around that. And so being able to see that vision come to life is so important, right? Because there's so many different things you can do with it, and to build your kitchen around something that you just have to picture in your head, that is almost impossible, I think.
And tell me, is it used by like just B2C or B2B companies are taking advantage of product visualization as well? Because what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about like I'm a construction company, and I can show my client how it's going to look, right? I'm thinking about it can be a tool for decorators or constructors. Do you have those types of intermediate clients, B2B clients?
Yeah, definitely. So a lot of our brands, I will say, their goal is really how do we make it easier to work with us for the interior designer, right? And the more that they can provide the interior designer with the tools on their side, the better, right? Because then that means that they're going to want to do business with this brand because it's a lot easier for them. They have all of the assets, they have AR, they can show, their client exactly what the configuration is going to look like and all of that. So yes, we definitely see that for sure.
Yeah, and I have to add that companies often forget that even B2B buyers are human too. Like, they want the same experience. It's not about them logging into a clunky portal and just like sorting through a chart or something. Give them the same experience that you would give D2C buyers.
Yeah, that's one very important point. And as well, I'm thinking about using your tool as a selling tool for the construction company. It's amazing. So it's really interesting to understand like how you can unfold product visualization into everything that we talked about. Like you can increase conversion rates, you can increase engagement, you can avoid or decrease significantly returns. You can actually save costs, right? You can iterate fast, I guess, right? Iterate fast. And I wanna just finish with a little bit more about product configuration, right? Can you configure like different products together? Can you start building your living room, right? How would that work? How if I go to your site and I want a chair and I want a table, right? Can I start to configure my room and then can I take it out with AR and like place it and know, okay, this is a fit or this is not a fit?
Yeah, so what we can do is we can do product sets. So that means that it's already configured together. So you wouldn't necessarily be building it, but you as the brand or the retailer can say to us, great, we want to show this table with these chairs, right? Or this outdoor set. So we have a love seat and 2 chairs and a coffee table, right? So we can definitely build that out so that you can actually see what the whole thing will look like together. We also have room scenes, which allows you to see it in the space and be able to change the material and really see what the new material is going to look like based on the space that you're in that you've chosen as that room.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I'd just like to add that there might be another way that companies can increase the average order value. It's like if you offer customizable add-ons when it comes to customization. So for example, you can add in pillows or like bed linens to the, if you're selling like a bed or a sofa with a chaise, like add the bed linens, the pillows, and anything else. And basically you're allowing customers to visualize how that would look like with those specific add-ons.
So do you mean kind of like a guided selling? Okay, configure a bed.
Yeah, something
forward,
like that.
Configure pillows.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I need something like that.
Yeah,
It's
we
an
have one
easy way.
client. We have a client where when you go and you add a sofa to the cart, a pop-up comes up and shows you a bunch of pillows. So you could easily, with product visualization, right, you could easily pick, okay, depending on what fabric they have configured for the sofa, we're going to show these different pillows in this fabric and use the API to call that as well, so that you give them the complementary and not, something that's going to not go well with that couch, so then they're less likely to buy it. So yeah, we can definitely do that kind of thing, like Diana said, where you guide them through that purchase.
Yeah.
I see. So ladies, we're coming to an end. We're running out of time, but I want to ask you, the last question is, where do you see product visualization going in the I don't know, the future seems so remote, but maybe in the next 3-4 years, like where do you see product visualization going for e-commerce specifically?
I think most likely we'll see even bigger quality when it comes to like photo renderings and AR. We'll probably see AR in even more realistic light than we do right now. I think definitely the metaverse, we will probably walk around in like augmented reality houses, and definitely like the more engaging the experience, the better for the customer.
I love
Yeah,
it.
and I think from my perspective, I think that there's some nice to haves right now that in the future are going to be need to haves, right? Like AR. Your consumers are going to start to expect that from you.
Yeah.
Being able to visualize every single configuration is going to become a requirement. I think that's a requirement now, but even more so, especially with brands giving, everyone does research before they go and buy a product. You're going to research the brand now and understanding who that's coming from and going to their site and looking at it and understanding all the different configurations. So I think a lot of the things that are maybe nice to have and add-ons to improve the experience right now with product visualization are going to just be requirements. And if you don't have it, you're going to lose out big time.
Yeah.
Great.
It's
So now you're in home product visualization applications, right? Furniture, kitchen cabinets. Are you having any plans to expand to other niches, or that maybe you can share with us, or not yet?
I think that's a stick around and find out what we're going to be doing
Yeah, love it.
in the future.
yeah.
Love it. Love the mystery. Okay, Johannah and Diana, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you. It's been an honor. Please remind our audience where they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, feel free to like come say hi at Cylindo. We have plenty of e-commerce reports and ebooks that you may find useful. They're mostly for product visualization and the furniture industry, but I think they can be relevant to like different industries. And you can definitely come say hi at LinkedIn, and yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, everyone, that's it for this week's episode. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, follow us on Spotify and all of our socials. We'll leave, as always, all the relevant links in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again in the next episode of The Link, E-Commerce Connections. I'm Diego Praderi, and have a great day. Bye-bye.